Yep, I got it. All right, time for our quarterly review or quarterly preview of a WWE card. This time it's SummerSlam, and right before SummerSlam, we get maybe the biggest news of the year, 2 years, 5 years, decade, 20 years. This is huge. Vince McMahon is gone, and Triple H takes over creative.
Unbelievable.
This is huge. This is amazing. The biggest company just lost their booker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's obviously, I don't know how much we want to or will get into the case against Vince McMahon, but obviously there's something, because that dude was going to die in the gorilla position. Okay. And that's not even an exaggeration. He probably would have just killed over there at some pay-per-view or something. I mean, he was never going to give up power. He was always going to be involved in creative at the very least. For him to retire and totally step away, there's going to be more on that end of it that comes out. But in terms of the product itself, hey, Nubyjas.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We're just talking about the Vince McMahon news.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We'll see what really comes of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's real. I think he's done. And I mean, I think in the first couple minutes of Raw, you saw some of the Triple H influence when they hit air. I'm going to just be, I guess, a little more optimistic than I have been before that something could actually change in terms of the presentation of the product. Because the stumbling block before was always, it's an audience of Vince. So if it's an audience of someone else, maybe there's a glimmer of hope that it'll improve. And we'll, of course, only have to see as it evolves. I don't know that I would expect immediate SummerSlam impact things on that, though.
I mean, it's kind of hard, right? Because, you already got things already going. So, it'll take a while, I think. We'll see. But then what I was also saying, just like, why? What's the real why?
I was just saying before that they must have something. They must have something on them.
More will be coming from that story, I think, is going to happen, because you're right, Dean. There's no way he was going to die in office, and that whole crap of, oh, he stepped down and Stephanie will take over. It's like, that was a bunch of BS, and he was still going to be running things anyway. But now it looks like it kind of looks like he's done, and that's amazing.
We'll see. I mean, you that's the other thing too about what happens when you try to become corporate. You got people you're accountable to now. It's not just being the old man owning the shop. Like, nah, fam, you got shareholders and stockholders. You know what they do? They investigate things.
Yeah.
And it's going to be your cute little wellness violation. This is actual real life that you can't manipulate or fabricate.
He's done this for decades. But now, like you just said, Nubyjas, now there's a publicly traded company involved. That don't fly.
Yeah, I mean, they start looking at millions of dollars just going places that no one can account for. That ain't gonna work, buddy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, now again, hey, but that's what happened. I mean, again, now obviously, if the things he's doing, we'll see what the extent of them was. Was it just, the usual stepping out on your wife, or was it something more sinister? You hope it isn't. You hope everything was consensual and mutually agreed upon or whatever. But typically speaking, you don't necessarily have big $1 million payouts for things that are consensual and mutually agreed upon.
We don't know, but from what it kind of sounds like, it might have been consensual. However, it was based on, if you want to go far in this company, or if you want to keep your job, you better do what I want.
Well, then I could argue that ain't consensual.
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's it was.
I mean, she might have said yes, but after again, Subi, we gotta be very careful talking about this, but it's
all disgusting, and I yeah, I am in shock that it got to this point where he actually stepped down.
Wait a minute, what are you in shock about?
That's I thought that it would blow over.
Oh, okay. You're not
and
shocked.
Everything has bounced off this guy for years.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
We're not shocked that he's
Everything.
actually about to done this stuff. We're just saying,
Oh no,
shocked
no,
that
no,
it's
no.
out.
I mean, we've
Okay,
heard
okay.
this for decades. We've heard this from the 80s. He was doing crap like this.
So this is
And
like
even-
basically Bill Cosby, finally,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, I mean, because
or R. Kelly, finally, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Snuka, you had, in his case, you had Owen Hart, you had the steroid trial, you have all these things, and nothing stuck to Vince McMahon. And now something's enough to get him to step down. We're going to hear more. We're going to hear more.
We're going to hear more. We're already hearing things like he was getting a little senile. This is silly. So obviously when you watch Raw and SmackDown, all you see is like rematch after rematch after rematch. And apparently the reason for that was because he didn't realize that it was a rematch after rematch after even when he was told, it's like, we've already done this. And like, yeah, do it again. Like,
Okay.
and like he would forget names and stuff like that. So I mean, but still.
Well, that's different from, you know.
Yeah,
it's all a combination. I mean, it makes a nice public story for why he might step down too, but in terms of the public relations aspect of it, but we all know there's more to come.
Yeah, there's more to come, and yeah, we'll probably never see or hear from him again, at least in the public or something like that. He'll just quietly retire with his little golden parachute, and that'll be it. But in the meantime, Triple H takes over, and I think this is a best case scenario, because I absolutely loved what he did when he ran the old NXT. It was basically like an old school wrestling promotion. I'm sure it'll be more showy than that, but still, I'm very excited to see what Triple H can do as the head of creative for basically the best wrestling company in the world.
Yeah. And I hope that, and it's just a little thing, but on Monday Night Raw, as soon as they hit air, you had Logan Paul and Miz coming to blows. So, in and of itself, not the biggest thing in the world, but what that message sent is, you better tune in at 8 o'clock because you're going to see some shit. Sorry. You're going to see some stuff. That's the kind of message they need to send. That's that they need to bring people to the appointment viewing. And so those are
because this is a 3-hour show.
Triple H does better. I'm hoping Triple H does that better in creative and building up a show. There were some hits and misses on Raw, but there were a couple of hits. So I'm hopeful that in a period of time, and I'd say let's give it time. We're all very much in a do it now world, but I'd give him time. I'd give him at least 6 months to a year to see what the product looks like.
Well, I guess the question would be, there's a lot of things you can ask, right? One, when you look at stuff like that, right? Can you do that with the 3-hour show every week? Do you have enough talent developed? Because you talked about things being a rematch, but was it a rematch because he forgot it? Was it a rematch because how many people you actually have that you want to see in a match? Or how many matches do you want to see? Like, if you think about it right now, like, how many matches on Raw, like, you're like, ooh, I'm really clamoring for this Austin Theory versus insert whomever matchup here, right? Or, ooh, I really would love to see Bobby Lashley lock up with.
Well, that's another thing is we really haven't really cared about a lot of the roster because of their 50-50 booking and their lousy creative and just the way they've done things. But you can make a 3-hour show interesting. It's not easy, but you can make it interesting. You can.
They did it before.
They've done it before, so it could happen.
Yeah, but you also had interesting people at that time.
Well, that's just it. You let them build, and you properly built them. That's why I'm saying it's going to take them some time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's not going to happen overnight. Yeah.
Point out your stars, figure out who they are, build the shows around them, and then allow the momentum to carry. Hopefully,
yeah. And then you have to see whenever you have a change in management, there's people that the old manager liked and didn't like, and now the new manager, there's going to be ones that he likes and doesn't like. So it'll be interesting to see who goes up, who goes down. I think this is bad news for Theory. I think Theory was Vince McMahon's pet project, and now that's going to be gone. So we'll see what happens to him. But so yeah, and then there's that whole thing of, you know, you mentioned there's almost nobody left because they cut so many people. They fired so many people from the roster. It's like, is he going to bring some people back? You know, maybe some of the ones
Wyatt.
that got
excuse me, sorry, I'm sorry.
Bray Wyatt would be
excuse me,
would be extremely interested. I think.
Is he alive? I mean, where is he?
He's doing a bunch of cryptic tweets, so you know he's being himself.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, Sasha.
I know.
Yeah.
But even then with Bray though, I mean, you still would have to like heat him back up. I mean, does he come right back in immediately hot again? I mean,
oh, you could easily, if he comes in as the Fiend again, he'll be like that. Like that.
Bring a more evil and bring a more TV 14 iteration of the Fiend in.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If they're going to TV 14, it's going to get a little more risque. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't know if SummerSlam will be changed much, because I think things are already set.
Yeah.
You know, like people were saying, it's like, oh my God, that Raw really wasn't all that different. It's like, he had a day. What do you want?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Relax, everybody. Relax. That's what I said. Let SummerSlam pass, for God's sake. And then let's see what direction the stories go and how the storytelling goes and how the shows are produced. Give it time. People aren't patient, but I'm willing to be patient a little bit and give it some time. So then there's Saturday.
Let's go over this card. Let's start with the Mysterios versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the Judgment Day. I think I was just wondering if Edge is going to show up or something like that. We haven't seen Edge for a while, but like, I really don't. The Judgment Day, it was interesting, but I'm just surprised that they got Edge out of there.
It was interesting with Edge.
Yeah.
Without him, it's not as interesting. And the biggest thing to me is they've been doing all these vignettes that are clearly Edge. And what are they going to do with him? And would he come back, and would it all be a ruse and he ends up turning on Ray? Because Ray certainly did go out of his way to mention Edge at his 20-year speech on Monday. Or, you know, does Edge come back and attack Judgment Day? The only thing I enjoyed is that Judgment Day kept repeatedly beating up Rey Mysterio on Monday night. I enjoyed that very much. I'm not a big Rey Mysterio character fan, as you might gather. I was hoping that Damian Priest would lawn dart him into the concrete wall like Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash did.
He put him through a table. I was hoping that actually bring back Kevin Nash to throw him into something.
That would be nice.
That didn't happen. But as far as
could Kevin Nash actually?
Yeah.
Could Nash actually do it?
Yeah. It's Rey Mysterio. He's 50 pounds soaking wet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he could pick him up and throw him into a wall. As far as a match, for the love of God, for the love of all that is holy, we've talked about it. How many of these? Please, for God's sake, let Dominic turn on Ray. Please.
We've been talking about this for 2 years now. Make it happen already. Let Dominic
Saturday.
Join Judgment Day. There you go. Problem solved. Something.
Join Judgment Day. Please turn on Ray.
I'm
smash him. Grab his mask off and put it on your own head. Do something, man.
Do something.
Do we like Dominic?
I don't like Dominic now. He's a white meat 19-year-old. What is he? 19? Baby face. He's like Rocky Maivia was when he came out. Like, nobody cares. So he needs an edge. He needs, no pun intended. He needs something to jumpstart what his character and what the evolution of who he is going to be. And turning heel on his dad would certainly get that attention.
That would be very interesting. And that's what obviously I think Dominic still needs at this point of his career, to have somebody guide him, somebody You know, like he and Seth Rollins had a good match because Seth Rollins is so good. You need, you know,
Yeah.
Dominic versus his dad would be amazing matches because his dad would make sure that they were amazing matches.
Right.
I'm
Because
laughing.
also you got to remember, I mean, he is, like you said, he's also still kind of learning the craft. Like
Right.
Mhm.
and sometimes like the very basics of the which, hey, look, shout out to him for getting in the game so early. Shout out to Ray for hanging around to put his son on. You know, all that stuff's great, but at some point, like, I don't know, dude, like he's just boring to me, man.
Not
Well,
only is
that's it. He needs the jump start. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's serviceable in the ring. He's doing the moves right.
Yeah, he's fine.
He needs to take the next step. And the next step is turning on his dad, waffling him with the ring bell, grabbing his mask, putting it on his own head, putting shame on the Rey Mysterio name, and then, you know, change his name to something dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only is Dominic still learning, you know, learning the craft, but he had to, you know, he had 2 years of doing his craft and learning it in front of, you know, the Thunderdome and the pandemic stuff. So, you know, doing it in front of crowds is a whole different thing. So
Right, that's another important.
Yeah.
He's still learning, but yeah, a Dominic Ray feud would actually be very interesting.
So that's my prediction. This is the one. Dominic turns on Ray. That's my prediction.
You know, eventually
I'll be right once. Eventually
it'll happen. Maybe in the year.
See, I told you the whole time.
Exactly right.
I
In
told
the
you
year
the whole time.
2029 when we're doing this, it's like,
Yeah.
it didn't happen. I told you. I was just looking up Rey Mysterio's age. It's like, oh, you know, how old is this ancient fossil? He's younger than me. Now I'm very depressed.
What is he?
He's 47.
Maybe?
He's 47.
That's disgusting.
Logan Paul versus The Miz.
Was Logan Paul getting booed on? Was he getting booed on Monday night?
That's a thing.
When he did the impulsive segment, was he getting booed?
Probably. They're trying to make him a face, and people don't like him. He's very pop. He's very like anything he does is trending, but people don't like him. So why are you making him a face? I don't know.
Now, much like Ray with Dominic, as we've speculated on, you want to put someone in who's going to help make you look good. You put him in with the Miz. The Miz is going to make sure that match goes exactly as it's planned. You know, he's a good one to have in the ring. He's a veteran now, and he is the right guy to have to start out Logan Paul with.
Yeah, he'll shine you up. I mean, Miz will absolutely, and that's very rare in the business these days. You used to feel like the rosters were filled with those guys in the 80s and 90s. You don't sound like you have many guys that, not like a Brooklyn Brawler who loses every match, but like, you know what I'm saying? But like a guy who, okay, if he wins, all right, cool. But if he loses, it means something still.
Yes. He is rare in that regard. I agree 100%.
The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, maybe Sheamus. It's like they all have that status of you lose a lot, but who cares? I mean, it's like, I'm excited to see Logan Paul wrestle again. I think he takes it seriously, and I think he's going to try to do better. And he wasn't bad at WrestleMania, so I think he's just going to build on it. And I think this is going to be a pretty good match.
It'll be a thing. It'll be, I mean, like good. I mean, it depends on what you consider is good. Well, it depends on what you consider is good, right?
You're right.
It's not main event. I mean,
what the expectations are. It's he's going to do better than like when Snooki was wrestling in the one thing. You know, I'm putting it on the expectation of celebrity wrestling. What they're going to do.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it'll feel, I guess, 12 to 18 minutes of airtime, and it'll be cool.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some ball references in there too.
There you go.
Yeah. It's interesting that they have, I guess, Ciampa is the Miz's friend or his sidekick.
Is that interesting? That is like, honestly, that's something that's like so weird to me. Like, why? Like, they haven't explained it. They haven't developed it. Like, why is Ciampa doing that?
Right. Right. They don't go together at all.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
no sense.
But it's going to be interesting to see, because if you want to say somebody that is one of Triple H's boys, one of Triple H's like favorites, that's Tommaso Ciampa. He was the NXT like mainstay veteran. So is someone
That's where
like
he should
Ciampa?
stay.
I agree.
Stay.
I'm not. He's
I'm not sold.
good for him. I'm not impressed. Like, yeah, but we'll see. And it's and when you have things like Adam Cole left for AEW, and Bryan Danielson left for AEW, and certain things, it's like, would some of these people have stayed if Triple H was in charge? So we'll see. Maybe Triple H will try to bring some people in. We're try to bring some people back. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yes.
Riddle versus Seth Rollins. I guess they're just doing this because they both have nothing to do. It's okay. So they're both good. It could be a good match. Cool. Right?
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you're working hard to convince yourself of this. I'm going to do it.
Hey, I
have worked myself up thanks to RK Bro. I am now not anti-Riddle where I was before. Okay. This is one of the places where I hope Triple H with both of these guys has an impact, because I find Seth Rollins' character kind of annoyingly /stale. And I find Riddle to be on the cusp. He could be one of the guys that is a big star. He could be one of them, but he needs his character to be tweaked. And they need to play more into the fact that the dude did MMA and he's a badass, and they don't play into that at all.
Yeah. It's like, it's kind of hard to
let
believe.
some of that come out. Yeah. Let some of that come out and have the announcers start talking about it. They never talk about it is the problem. So we don't, as the fans, a lot of fans don't even know that about Riddle.
Basically just a comedy act now, and that needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
he needs to become a badass.
I mean, it looks like a drug addict, flipping off his shoes and stuff, basically. I mean, got the mushroom tattoo, which you can make innuendos there. The hair, the way he moves, the whole thing.
But he's over. He's over.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
To his partnership with Randy.
But it's hard to take him seriously, though. Like for real, as a true viable, this guy could be a world champion. You're like,
He
needs the win Saturday. He needs the win.
Well, that's the other thing. Seth Rollins needs to win also.
Does he?
Seth Rollins is because he's almost going into that Miz territory of like interesting guy that just loses all the time. It's like, no.
Good.
This is one of the best wrestlers in the world. This guy should be either in the world title picture or near it all the time. He's that good. Don't waste him. And he's being wasted now. Here's what I want to see with Seth Rollins. Somehow they obviously Theory is probably going to be de-emphasized. Do something where Theory has to put up the Money in the Bank case, like he has to put it up against someone that he could possibly lose it to. I don't know, a Seth Rollins. Then you have Seth Rollins cashing in at some point. I don't know. Let's say Royal Rumble, and then WrestleMania could be champion Seth Rollins against, I don't know, Cody Rhodes. Just a thought.
No.
Well,
we've talked about this. It's got to be Cody to beat Roman. We'll get there with Roman and Brock. It's still got to be Cody.
The chosen one to beat the man. Is that what you want?
It has to be.
Well, I mean, but here's the other thing too, like with your early plan there. All right, you take the briefcase off someone. You're really making yourself look pretty bad. And you're basically
they did it with Kennedy, right? Back in, years ago. They did
it with Otis.
Okay, and what happened to Otis?
Yeah.
Well, he's actually over.
Okay, but he had to be like totally redone.
Yeah, like 2 years later after. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. Theory is he has the potential to be a star in this company. He's got the charisma. He just doesn't seem to have quite the size. I mean, watching him going up against a Roman or a Brock or a Bobby Lashley, it's not quite believable for him to compete with them.
He'd be good in AEW. He'd fit right into that place.
He would. I mean, but it's just, he's just, if he was fighting Seth Rollins, he's good. He's fighting AJ Styles, good. But in the land of the giants, he's not. He doesn't look like he quite belongs yet. It's just a little too soon for him.
At least bulk up a little bit or something.
Yeah, something.
I mean, we also say it like it's that easy too, right? Like,
right.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, put on the 25 pounds of muscle there, buddy. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, drink a protein shakes,
Be good.
Hit the bitch a little bit. Yeah, you bet.
Sure. I mean, look at Chris Hemsworth in those Thor movies. It's easy.
Right, yeah, it's a piece of cake. Yeah.
Piece of cake. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. I mean, here we go again. I mean, it's going to be a good match. I like them both, but here's another thing. It's like, how many times are we seeing this? Like, okay,
Becky's character feels lost. Becky's character just feels lost. And Bianca, at least during the fight with Becky, she wasn't smiling. I mean, quit smiling when you're coming to the ring with someone that pissed you off, man. Like, come to the ring with purpose and anger. And just, she's great in the ring. She is talented. She's a star. Becky's a star. Their characters have just kind of floated along with no real purpose. That's what has to change as far as this match Saturday goes. I think Bianca just retains because, and then maybe that's where, Alexa dropped some hints. She was coming after whoever wins. Maybe Alexa could finally get some direction too and start being more intense and go after Bianca.
Alexa was a former champion, and she's basically been. First, she did that Fiend stuff, and then now she's just been either just disappeared or not doing anything. Like, this is a championship caliber wrestler. Do something with her. I think Bianca versus Alexa would be interesting. It'd be interesting.
And we haven't seen it.
It could be. I mean, I'll be honest with y'all, man.
Don't bust on my girl Alexa. Don't bust on Alexa.
No, she's fine. It's just, but we've seen this before, right?
We haven't seen Alexa and Bianca.
No, but we have seen Becky and Bianca, and that's what we're getting now. It's like, come on, it's gonna be
Alexa
good.
Would be. Alexa Bliss is great. You know that, but we're not getting that, so we're getting this.
Yeah. I think it'll be the better of the two women's championship matches, but I'm kind of hoping Bianca comes out and then they can kind of retool Becky's character a little more.
What do we want Becky to be anyway? What do we want to?
I don't know.
We want Becky to be what she is, which is beloved. The fans love her. They don't want to boo her at all. This stuff where she's trying to be a bad guy. Stop it. She's not bad. Everybody loves her. This is the man. This is the person that, basically single-handedly made her own push because she was such a badass a few years ago. This is somebody that everybody gets behind. All this stuff, make someone else heel, but make Becky face. My goodness, what are we doing?
Well, who else you got that's a heel? That's a woman.
Yeah, that's true.
Turn Alexa.
Yeah, but
hopefully Bailey comes back, and
yeah.
But I see. I don't know who I want to win this. I don't ever want Bianca to lose, because to me she's like the perfect wrestler and she's indestructible. So in the ring, I don't think she should ever lose. That's just, she got it all. She's athletic and amazing. I never want her to lose, but then again, Becky is that championship caliber. So if she loses to Becky, it's understandable, but still, I don't know.
Well, as long as it's not like a one punch weird thing, you know, like
right.
he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's not that kind of silly stuff. But outside of that, you know.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah. Not good. Not
Yeah.
good.
Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. This is really interesting because I believe they were teammates with the Colts.
They were roommates.
They were
Yeah.
wow.
On the practice squad, apparently. Did Corbin actually make the team?
I don't know if he did.
No, I'm not trying to be funny
I
because,
don't
by the
think
way,
so.
like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think he ever was like on the main roster, but still.
and by the way,
I
let me
mean-
be very clear for the audience there. Getting to an NFL practice squad is more than like 99% of people ever do. So
you're
like,
one of the best
we're-
athletes in the world, even if
Right.
if you just make it to the
yeah. So like, yeah,
practice
we're
squad,
not gonna like downgrade that, but I was just saying. But yeah, I think it was training. Actually, I think the Colts posted a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, them at training camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Here's where we are with WWE. Pat McAfee is more over than 90% of the roster.
yes, he is. Yes, he
So
is.
what's that tell you about how the roster's been pushed and handled? But McAfee, when he came in, and it was sacrilege, and I said it on here. I didn't care for his commentary style, but he delivered at WrestleMania big time, and he's won me over. And the way that they're using him is, I mean, the crowd was like popping for him hard when he went to the ring last Friday. I was like, damn, we haven't heard that in a long time for someone. And it's McAfee. Oh my God. So using him in special attractions like this, I think is all right. But he is a key player for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, look, I notice how we hadn't talked about Corbin here, right? The actual,
Right.
former champion.
Corbin's a badass.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a badass.
No, he really is. Like, he's like a Golden Gloves guy. I mean, actually, probably one of the more accomplished non-wrestling athletes in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at, I mean, you could put him up there with like the Wahoo McDaniel, some of those guys, as far as like their accomplishment, Ron Simmons, those guys who their accomplishments outside of wrestling before they got wrestling. I mean, we just talked about Bianca and what she did at Tennessee running track, and here's Baron, did all this stuff, and for whatever reason, like, I mean, his character is literally a joke, man. I don't know if they're, I don't know if they're just picking on him. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just upsets people or what, but I mean, he's been a joke. He's been a joke for 2 years. Like, he was doing like the dirty bum thing, that he won the money, that he's picking on his friend, and then now I guess he's getting picked on by a punter.
I loved the dirty bum thing. I loved when he lost all his money.
Right.
And he's asking, it's like, I need everybody to just give me $10,000. I mean, each of you just give just $10,000 and I'll be back up. That was funny stuff. When he was down, is like, but everything. Oh my God, that stuff with Mad Cat Moss.
He made the best of it, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, heck, he was a couple of years ago, he was feuding with Roman Reigns over dog food. I mean, they give him crap material and he still does something with it. So
yeah, I mean, it sucks because I think I think he's a good worker as far as I can tell, and he's got the body. And again, maybe he's been in some trouble I don't know about, or maybe there's some stuff that I've missed. But seemingly, he's been a pretty upstanding citizen in society too, right? Am I wrong?
I guess.
Yeah. I've never heard anything bad.
And I've never even heard any of like the rumors about him not being a good locker room guy. So
he's somebody that should be further along in the hierarchy than he is.
He needs.
They've dropped the ball with him.
Yeah, he needs an imagery
needs
makeover also. Yeah.
Yep.
Heck, this is what they thought of him when they had the very first SmackDown on Fox, the one with The Rock and when what's his face? Brock Lesnar beat Kofi and stuff. It was Corbin that they chose to go toe to toe with The Rock.
Yeah.
That's what they think of you is that basically you're up there to have the Rock kick your butt. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
So they
then,
think they thought highly of him. I don't know what they think of him.
Then they dropped the ball. Yeah,
they did. I think this is going to be good because they know each other so well.
Yeah.
And we know that Pat McAfee can actually do some things in the
deliver.
ring. So I think it's.
Yeah, it'll look fine. I just don't know what it'll mean in the grand scheme of things. But
right.
But
Not
also,
a ton,
I guess
probably, yeah.
But hey, we're here to be entertained. So yeah.
The Usos were the Street Profits for the tag team champions with special guest referee Jeff Jarrett. What the heck's he doing there? I don't know. But anyway, this is another one.
How did Jeff Jarrett get himself in this one?
I'm not sure.
I think it's pretty simple. It's the events in Nashville.
Oh,
okay.
That's like literally it. And this is Vince's brain. That's how it works. Oh, it's in Nashville. Jeff Jarrett will be, ain't he great? Yeah. No, it's not great. What the anyway,
but you know what? Hey, but maybe this means that that Jarrett is rebuilding a relationship with WWE. I know for a while they were kind of.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's there. He's good. Yeah.
Yeah, they were on the outs for a while though. I mean, so a paycheck for Jarrett, I guess. I mean,
I'm looking forward to the match. I think these four can go.
Yes,
it'll be a good match.
But this is another one. Yes, it's going to be good. It's like when they ran the Usos versus New Day like 82,000 times. Yes, it's going to be good, but we've seen it a million times. I think it's time to break up the Street Profits. I think each of them could be a good singles wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is like two of the three actual tag teams on the entire roster: the Usos, the Street Profits, and the Vikings. I think that's the actual only tag teams on the roster. So I'm not sure why you want to break up one of them, but still, I think each of the Street Profits could be good as a singles guy. And so, but do you think the Street Profits will actually win this? I think maybe it's time.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, I guess here's the thing: because whatever happens to the Usos could impact Roman, and so then what do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? And then does that mean because hey, maybe they lose, then Roman gets pissed and kicks them out and says you can't come back on OG, come back with something else. I mean. Because you got to think about that, right? Because the part of the whole thing is, you can't really, put your one up if you're not the one, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right. I think the Usos have to win.
Yeah,
and maybe this is the start of the destruction of the Street Profits.
Maybe. Bobby Lashley versus Theory for the United States Championship. I think Theory is in for a bad time.
Should be. He'd have no business. He's have no business beating Lashley.
And there's no reason for Theory to win because he got that money in the bank thing going on. So it's.
I mean, it depends on what you want out of Theory, right? Not to say he's got to win, but what do you want out of him? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want him to look like? Do you want him to look like someone who could compete with the, you know what I'm saying?
Or do you want him to be like the little Weasley guy that should lose all the time, but he finds a way to win because he cheats or something like that? There's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, like it's been a while since I can't remember last time WWE had a real heel like that, a real swarmy. I mean, I guess maybe Miz in his heyday, maybe. I'm trying to think about this. Like that real swarmy heel, that kind of.
It's like you have no business winning, but somehow you win anyway. So
Honky Tonk Man syndrome. Yes.
just figures it out a way, I mean, and there's something to be said for that, I think, if it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If it's I mean, if it's done right, that's a great value because you can't wait till they actually lose legit. And it's so much fun when they lose. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Okay.
What do we think of Liv Morgan? Liv Morgan finally got her chance at Money in the Bank. She won it. Then she cashed it in because God forbid we have a woman hold a Money in the Bank championship for more than 2 hours They always have him cash him in immediately, but she won it.
I loved the moment. I loved the moment.
Great
I
moment
loved that night. And the rationale behind her defeating Ronda made sense. I like Liv Morgan. I don't like the super smiley baby face. I don't think that works today. Her, Raquel Rodriguez, Aaliyah, they're all like that. And like she needs to have more of a Riot Squad edge to her from like when she came in. Baby faces, it's like they learned nothing from Randy Orton's first baby face run. You know, the plucky smiley baby face doesn't work long term anymore. So now you put a Liv Morgan whose skill set has improved, but am I believing that she beats Ronda Rousey? Nope, not when Ronda's healthy. I don't believe that.
But that's the thing, right? I mean, you can make it be whatever you want it to be.
You can. I mean, it's got to be Ronda, quote unquote, gets hurt during the match somehow or something.
You could, yeah. I mean, Ronda's lost before, so it's like, and
no, that's a Liv Morgan skill set. She's just not quite. She's not at the Becky, Bianca, Charlotte level. She's not there. She's better. She's improved. Okay, she deserves where she is. She deserved that moment. She's just not quite there to beat Ronda Rousey. To me,
but maybe this is what puts her there.
It would help.
It would help
maybe,
her. Sure.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, if she does, if it's
all
done the right way, not get what that is. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, it could help her if she beats her clean. It certainly does help.
Yeah, because it makes you take her seriously. And because right now it's still kind of like, okay. I mean,
they have played up the whole underdog story for this, so that's true.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, Liv Morgan was the perfect underdog story. She was the perfect chase for the championship, you know, overcoming all the odds, and everyone was behind her, and the person that you wanted to see win, and then she won, and now we're like, now what?
Now what? Like with Kofi.
You know, yeah, exactly. With Kofi, it's like, okay, now what?
Now what?
So
what is real though? Now what's real?
And now we'll see. We'll see. I mean, because you know, when you cash into Money in the Bank, you're cashing it in on a person that just had a match, so they're not at 100%. Well, Ronda Rousey is going to be at 100%. So let's see what happened. And if Liv loses on basically her first title defense, that's then you know it was just
to her actually. Yeah.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Well, but then the problem is, look at who she's against. So there's always ways you can play it and spin it forward. It's just what you're gonna do.
You could have Charlotte Flair come in and cause Ronda to lose or something like that. You could do something like that to protect Ronda. I don't know.
You could do that, but Charlotte.
What do you think of Ronda? Her career progression in the WWE so far. Do you think she's kind of stale in terms of her ring character, and especially the way she talks? She's not good on the mic. She would be perfect. She needs a manager. She needs like a Paul Heyman.
She needs to be just, even though Shayna's not the best on the mic in the world either, but the two of them together would at least be badasses.
Yes. Yes.
And give them a purpose to just beat the crap out of everybody on the roster.
Sisters of Destruction. They just have them destroy everyone, or just, you know, even they could either go for the tag team, although we don't, I guess we're not allowed to talk about women's tag team wrestling after what happened with Sasha. I guess that's, you know, we'll forget about that championship, but still have them, either they could fight together, or they could just do, you know, individual ones where they're just supporting each other, whatever. And Shayna Baszler, they could, that's another one that needs a bit of a
they're not doing anything with her. It's crazy. I don't understand.
They should. Those two together, badassery.
I'm telling you, it's like Kane and Undertaker. It's like the Sisters of Destruction. It would be it would be amazing. Two MMA badasses. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, the main event: Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in a last standing match for the undisputed championships. Wow, this is Well, this is the first time that Roman Reigns has fought Brock Lesnar, so it'll be really interesting to see how
According
it
to Vince.
goes. What is this? Their 40, 50th time? My
Yeah.
goodness. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, apparently, if you believe the quote unquote dirt sheets, Brock Lesnar was mad last Friday when it was found out that because what was it, Friday afternoon, Friday 4 or 5 o'clock, when they announced Vince McMahon was retiring. He was so mad that he walked off the show, and then they convinced him to come back at the last minute or something like that. Still, yeah, Roman has to win, right?
Has to.
I guess. I mean,
It does nothing for Brock to win. It does nothing. It makes your 699 or 700 days useless.
Right.
A new star has to be made beating Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes. It has to be
at
it can't be The
WrestleMania.
Rock. It can't be Brock Lesnar. It can't be Lashley. It can't be Drew. It's got to be Cody when he comes. And now coming back from the injury. Yeah. Hell yeah. Here's my problem, though. He has both titles. Same thing with the Usos. I see that as a problem. I don't know. Maybe it's just
I really wish they didn't do that. I really wish they did not unify
they
those.
they have a way out of it that I thought of, and a way to protect Roman. So, Triple H, if you're listening, here's a freebie for you, because this is something that's never been done. Okay, follow me up, guys, on this. Okay, Roman wins Saturday. Still the universe, undisputed universal, blah, 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 blah. 2 belts. Woo. Same thing with the Usos. They win. They've still got their belts. Monday night, they go to Raw. They start beating the shit out of Riddle. Am I allowed to swear on your podcast?
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
They start beating the crap out of Riddle. Officials come to the ring, but something snapped in Roman and the Usos, and they just start beating up officials. Okay. They just start, they even do a triple power bomb onto an official. Okay. So then Adam Pearce, whatever his purpose is, whatever, he strips Roman and the Usos of the WWE Championship and the Raw Championships. They didn't attack a SmackDown official. They attacked a Raw official. So they are stripped of the titles that are on Raw. They're put on notice that if they attack any official what's in any manner on SmackDown, they will be stripped of those as well. Allows them to keep those titles, allows the titles to be separated again. So then how do you determine your next WWE champion? At Survivor Series, you have 3. This is really convoluted, but I think it's cool. You guys can tell me I'm full of it if you like. You have 3 5-on-5 matches. The 5-on-5 matches have never served a purpose at Survivor Series, right? They've just been 5-on-5s. Oh, who survives? Great, whatever. There's no stakes in it. Now there are 5-on-5 matches. Whoever the survivors are of those 3 matches are put into a battle royal. In that battle royal, and say you're going to have maybe about 5-6 guys in it. Once it gets down to 2, the battle royal stops, and the match between those 2 begins for the WWE Championship, who is then crowned at Survivor Series.
See, that's too good. That's too logical. It makes too much sense. That's why it'll never happen.
I know it'll never.
That's a great idea. That was a great idea because the only reason they have those matches on Survivor Series is because of a tradition, because they've been doing it for 20, 30 years. So have those matches actually have a purpose. And instead of doing the silly tournament thing that happens a million times.
Right.
Yeah. That's
something different.
That's cool.
Keeps you through the whole pay-per-view. Gets the WWE title off Roman without him having to lose it. Allows him to keep the Universal title on that streak up to WrestleMania. And then you build a new champion on the Raw side. Yay.
There you go.
We'll see.
I can feel
So,
the excitement.
Triple H, you can hire me. You can hire me, Triple H, if you're listening. You can definitely hire me if 6 figures is
Consultants.
a mandatory thing, and I will become a writer for you.
Yeah, you could, or just consultants. Just work.
Just bring me in for the big ones.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm bringing both
Yeah.
of you in. We're all going.
We don't need you to when SmackDown comes to Poughkeepsie. We don't need you to book that one. We need you to book the big shows. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
But Roman has to win Saturday. He's got
Roman has to win.
It means nothing. It means nothing for Brock to win. It means nothing.
What are we doing with Brock?
And to be quite honest, yeah, have Theory cash in and have Roman squash him in 3 seconds. Let's end that.
Okay. That I could totally see happening. I could totally see that would put the nail in the coffin of the Theory push. Like, okay, first of all, he's gonna get destroyed by Lashley. Then he's gonna then he thinks he's gonna cash in on Roman, and Roman is just
gonna get destroyed. Yeah. Yep. End it and start something new.
Theory could take his golden egg and go home.
Yep.
That would be. I mean, that's what you want to do.
I could totally see that. I could totally see either Theory not, failing to cash in or losing the briefcase to someone else.
Now let me ask you this. Okay, if everybody who's been unsuccessful in cashing, what happened to their careers?
It's bad.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
wasn't Cena one of them? Didn't Cena fail?
I don't think so.
Who's all failed?
I think it's like Dolph Ziggler and Kennedy or something.
No,
like
Ziggler won. Ziggler beat Alberto Del Rio. He got the huge pop.
Who am I thinking of? Somebody did lose.
Yeah. There's
a couple. Not many.
Didn't Baron Corbin lose?
Maybe.
Corbin had it for a while.
Where do you find this stuff? Like, where's the WWE almanac of?
I'm efforting.
Are you Googling Money in the Bank cash in losers? And that should tell.
Okay. Here, John Cena did fail to cash in. Also, Damian Sandow. Also, Baron Corbin. Also, Braun Strowman.
Oh,
interesting. They are the only one. They are the only 4 to have failed to cash in and gain a championship.
So Cena's Cena. I mean, Cena's indestructible.
Damian Sandow, that kind of killed his career.
Yeah, Strowman's no longer there.
Yeah. Baron Corbin, that did him no
favors.
Yeah. Right. So
Cena's the only one that survived it, and Cena was not going to be destroyed by it at that point. The others were. So you're right, Nubyjas. Yeah, that can kill you if you don't cash it in.
Yeah, I'm just like, do we want to do that to this guy?
I don't want to kill Theory. I don't want to kill him off. He has potential. He has star potential. He can't successfully cash in on Roman.
Nah, it's too early for. I mean, I get it.
He can't.
It's just. Yeah, man, you should.
Or you want to make Cody Rhodes? I mean, have Theory being a thorn in the champ's side up until WrestleMania, and then have him try to cash in on Cody Rhodes, and then Cody beats him too, and then Cody's beating Roman and Theory in the same night at WrestleMania. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, overall, what do you think of this whole card now that we know all the matches? I'm not all that excited. To me, SummerSlam is the number 2 event behind WrestleMania for the year. And it just doesn't feel that way. It just doesn't. I mean, I know it's not, for some reason, John Cena's not wrestling. I know they plan on Cody Rhodes wrestling, and obviously he's not there. Stuff happens, but still there's not a whole big build up here.
It just speaks to them having not built stars to be big enough. That's the problem. Because a lot of these matches should be big event tier levels, they have the biggest of what they can. Having Bianca and Becky in a match is the biggest they can. Having Ronda Rousey on the card is the biggest they can. Having Brock and Roman, sadly, is the biggest they can. Usos and Street Profits. That's the biggest they can. They've got a lot of work to do to bring up new stars. A lot of work to do.
We will see. We'll see what changes, or maybe things won't change. I don't know. We'll see. So
Sweet thing to buy. Would you buy it? Would you buy Peacock to watch this?
Yeah, for $10, sure. $10, yeah. You talking about like when I buy like a regular pay-per-view? Hell no, man.
No. Yeah.
But you know what though? The funny thing about it, sometimes those pay-per-views you think are going to be much actually end up being really great. So you never know. Maybe this one turns out to be special. Maybe they really pull the stops out for Triple H and who knows? But as of right now, though, there's no compelling reason. With the go home show I saw, yesterday. I guess what we'll see on Friday. No real compelling reason for me to go out and spend probably more than $10 on this.
do you remember back in the day when pay-per-views cost like $50 or $40 or whatever?
Oh yeah.
And they had it was on a certain channel, and you would get it scrambled. But if you messed with I guess like the fine tuning, whatever, you could sort of see something.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the sad part of I remember, because I'm old. I remember having to go to Adelphia Cable and getting a special box to watch the pay-per-view.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And then I have to take the box back after the pay-per-view. They had a special box for me to get. Yeah.
A box just for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I'd take it back after that was around WrestleMania 8.
So
WrestleMania
you had to
9.
hook it up? Like, how did you hook it up?
You had to hook it up to the TV and all that.
God.
Yeah. And it was on. That's how it was unscrambled, because it was on a special box. Yeah, it was a pain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Well, that's the only reason you use that box there, Dean.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
Yeah, that's when we would. I mean, we'd buy it, but I would have to have like a bunch of friends over, because I'm not paying you $50.
Yeah,
We're
you
all
guys
chipping
chip in.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no friends, so I had to.
So you got to go to your own bar.
Jesus.
There you go. All right, guys, thanks so much. Hopefully we could talk next week and recap the hopefully good show. So
let's hope.
All right, thanks,
All
guys.
right, boys. Yeah.
All right,
We'll see you.
See you.